Hello, so my name is George Edlin. This is my video blog for Activity 1, Students in the Digital Age. So I sent my questionnaire to 3 teachers in Korea, as mentioned in the slides, and the main feedback I received from those teachers was that they need more training, more support from their school to integrate technology into their classrooms. Teachers are generally stuck on the substitution and augmentation levels of the SAMR model. With more training or support from their schools, they could graduate to the modification and redefinition levels of the SAMR model. This will dramatically improve their teaching and their classes. Currently, they are taking the low-hanging fruit of YouTube and PowerPoint, but with this extra support, they could graduate to far better classes in their schools. In general, there's little difference between the grades from elementary to high school. PowerPoint, YouTube, and other simple technologies seem to be the norm. My high school teacher did say that she would like to use a smartboard, but she lacks the training to do so. Even though it's been offered by the school, she didn't feel it's adequate enough for her to use confidently in the classroom, and she often relies on students to help her with the technology that she already uses. It's not really applicable for me in my context to talk about non-speaking English students, so I'm going to just leave that for the time being and come back to that later. And no teacher mentioned any difference for technology with special needs, but we did mention it in the cohort, so I'll come back to that later. I shall talk about that now. So in our cohort discussion, we talked about students with disabilities, how they could be paired with technology to improve their performance in school. Examples such as dictation technology or braille keyboards for students who are visually impaired. Those sort of technologies will dramatically improve their performance in the classroom and their ability to study. So after these discussions, both in the cohort and with the teachers following the questionnaires, in conclusion, I am more aware of my own limitations with technology and how I am also stuck on the substitution augmentation steps of the SAMR model. I realize that if I can become more proficient with technology, I should push myself to do so, because it will dramatically improve my classes if I can get onto the modification and redefinition levels. So that is my conclusion to my teacher survey. Now we're going to move on to the getting to know you survey. The first feedback I got about this survey was, why did I have open-ended questions rather than tick boxes? Well, I thought it was best to have the open-ended questions because it allows the students to go beyond ticking a box and fully tell me about them and their experiences. This will also tell me about their motivation. How motivated are they to fill in this survey? Simple 1 or 2 word answers compared to long, detailed answers will tell me dramatically, easily how motivated they are to fill in this survey, which will tell me a lot about their motivation in school generally, I think. I simplified 2 of the questions following the feedback from the teachers. I originally asked 2 questions, which I cut, which were, what's the hardest thing about being a kid, and tell me something about yourself that I should know. The feedback I got were these questions were too conceptual and too difficult for elementary school students, so I cut them and replaced it by asking about simple questions about their family and about what clubs they're in, which the feedback I got was that those sort of questions were more age appropriate for elementary school children. I started with fun questions because I thought that was a good way to ice break the activity. I thought if for elementary students, if I made the questions too heavy too early, it would be intimidating for them and they wouldn't want to fill it in. For similar reasons, I didn't ask about special needs. I didn't think it was appropriate on a getting to know you survey. Those sort of questions should come with trust. The students should be able to trust me, and they won't be able to trust me if on a getting to know you survey on icebreaker. Those sort of relationships should be built, and then I can fully get to know their special needs if they have any. The other reason I chose to make it an open-ended questions rather than tick boxes was for their handwriting. I feel you can learn a lot from a student just from their handwriting. It'll tell me how motivated they are, how diligent they are as a student, and their levels of concentration. Not fully, but I think you can make a pretty good guess about a student just from their handwriting. And that's why I wanted it to make it open-ended, because I wanted that information as much as the actual answers they gave. So yeah, that's my summary of the Getting to Know You survey. I thought it was a useful survey, and when I get back to my public school next year, I will definitely try and use this in the classroom, which I didn't do before when I worked there. I think it'll really help my class. So, George Edlin, Activity 1, Students in the Classroom. Thank you.